Hi guys, I'm going to do a really quick message. I decided to use the same deck, I don't know, I think it's because it was in a hurry, but I'm kind of glad I did, just because, I don't know, it seems to go together. There's a lot of pentacles here, so maybe this is something that is in your tangible in your daily life. This can also be dealing with your root and your foundation, those things that make you feel safe and secure, right? So the columns go vertical. Is that right? Yeah, vertical. So it's mind, body, spirit. And so the first column we have the Queen of Swords. Now I have to tell you, when I first went to go do this, I actually pulled the Six of Swords, and then I got distracted and pulled away, so then I started over. So I don't know, maybe that means something to somebody today, and to let you know kind of that things are going to be okay and you're on calmer shores, especially mentally. So when we have the Queen of Swords, this is somebody who is intelligent. This is somebody who is standing in their decisiveness, but it's also about having clarity, very much clarity. And if you're somebody like me, that is something that you kind of search all the time, and it can kind of overwhelm you, because when you think about overthinking, or you think about I want things to go right, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of times I overthink, and a lot of times I have so many things going on in my mind that I get overwhelmed really quickly. But then the more that you kind of allow that to happen, the more that you kind of get yourself in that. So the Queen of Swords is somebody that she is firm in what she believes. She's firm in what she's doing. She's not somebody who is an overthinker. She doesn't get carried away. Sometimes people think she's cold, but I think in her power, she's just very decisive, and she's aware of, the decisions she has to make and the things that she needs to do that day, and she gets them done, right? I envy her. And so what I wanted to do, because sometimes I don't like to pull just one card, I think we need a little bit more emphasis on it. So it's almost like a clarifying. So clarifying that we have the Six of Pentacles, which is, that's even give and take. But I feel like, and I'm going to use myself for this is also balancing, because we're clarifying the clarity here. So this is somebody your mind is going to gain clarity, and you're gaining clarity on balancing your day-to-day and what you can give out and what you can give in, right? You're balancing the tangible and the physical and the mental, and I feel like that's a good sign. This is somebody who is either going to be doing that, or this is somebody who is kind of has this on their scope, right? So whoever this is for today, and if you resonate with it, that's kind of where I feel like this is. Body-wise, we have the Devil. And if you know me, I don't like to give him a bad rep, because the Devil represents that earthly part of us, the earthly, the passions that we have, and the connection to the earth that people, I don't think, realize is what makes us human. It's what makes us spiritual beings in this earth. It's that connection to the passion and the drive and the emotions and the feelings. And like I always say, that sensual is feeling the feelings to the fullness and in the most pure way. I kind of feel like that's kind of like the Devil in a way too. We think of that as negative. When we see somebody who's completely just being themselves, sometimes we get triggered, right? And that's kind of how the Devil is. People see him and they're like, oh, you know what, that's bad, that's terrible, when really that's somebody who's on top of their game, and they're just okay with who they're being, right? A lot of times in the tarot, if you look deep enough, the Devil actually represents being at the top of your game and being that aware. You're not allowing other people to sway you. And, the man and the woman in there, the Empress and the Emperor, whether that be the feminine and the masculine, however your interpretation of the Devil card brings you to that. But these, again, we know the story that they are able to get away. They're allowing themselves to be restricted, right? But if you look at this card, they're kind of doing that in the way of their passions, the things that, those pleasures that they are allowing themselves to be overtaken with. So that's kind of, again, about the balance of understanding that, the way through the journey and understanding the spiritualness of things, and that inner deepness of yourself. I should have said depth, but whatever. But that is part of understanding what makes it what it is, right? That's part of understanding what life is really getting into those emotions and those the depth of things. But we have to have balance because like it or leave it. And I know I'm probably upset people when I had said this yesterday, because I know there's some people that like, they are diehard, like, this is a simulation and da-da-da-da. I'm not saying it's not. Honestly, what I'm saying is I have no clue and I have kids I have to take care of. So I have that advantage where I can't escape that. And let me tell you, if I didn't have kids, I probably would be escaping that. So sometimes I think that these are things that kind of ground us in our life, right? And then it's also like, okay, here's a way off theory. You know what I mean? Like, our kids are kind of like clones of ourselves. So they're, in a way, they're kind of like, other forms of ourselves, other incarnations of ourselves that are going on and carrying on our DNA and our ideas and our beliefs, right? And so when we're gone, they pass those on. They create these things through our ideas that they learn from us, right? So I don't know, take what you want with that. That's a little spirally, but whatever. So anyway, so this is our body. So mind is, the Queen of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, having that balance between the here and now and, the mental realm, being able to do the things, but also being able to come up with the ideas and finding balance and clarity and actually being able to do the thing. Because a lot of times I'll have 75 million things going on in my head, and I might actually be doing 3, and I usually do them at the same time. So, that's something that I struggle with. So with the devil, that can be like a two-edged thing. It can be the fact that, we need to lead with our passion, and we need to have that deep, being an earth sign, this is that drive for stability also. And we have the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is like the master builder. This is somebody who has that youthful passion and that unrestricted, awe of, the adventure, right? This is somebody who is ready to go for it because they feel it, right? This girl right here, she's all excited to go on this adventure and learn this thing and experience this journey, unrestricted, because, she hasn't been through all the things that the knight has and the queen has and the king has, right? So she's kind of like has that fresh outlook on the passionate, tangible thing that she wants to experience in the world. And so when you put those two together, this feels like you need to lead with your passion. You know what I mean? Allow your body to lead with your passion. Allow that part of you. But keep in mind, we have to have clarity and balance too. So all over this feels like a very, typical message of mine, where it's like, we need to have that balance between the two and kind of try not to overthink things, because I do that a lot. And so, and then with our spirit, we have the Chariot. So the Chariot, that is, going full force, and you're all in it, because like, in the Rider-Waite, he is like cemented in there. He's in till the end, right? And I believe that, I think the Chariot, the Emperor is the one in the Chariot as well, so I don't know. But anyway, so this is, going with that. You're balancing the duality of things, and understanding the non-duality of things. Like, okay, well, maybe things on the outside do affect the inside, but ultimately the power is in within, right? The power is in the Chariot. The power is driving the thing, right? The horses, they have the force and the girth, you know what I mean? They have the effort to push, but to guide them and to push them forward, the Emperor has to have that foresight, right? He has to have that, that initiative. And I feel like this is saying, this being our spirit is pushing on, because we are finding that independent Nine of Pentacles within us, that we're pushing our way to find that true self. And so, again, and I always say that the Nine of Pentacles, she's not somebody who is, selfish and whatever, but she ultimately knows who she is and knows where she stands. And I feel like, again, we got 3 cards that kind of say that about somebody. You have the Queen of Swords. This is somebody who knows what she wants and she's got clarity. And you have the Devil. The Devil is, not allowing people to sway you and hold you back. In the card, you're not being the two people. You're being the Devil, right? The Devil is, this is what I'm passionate about. This is what I want. And this is my drive, right? And then we have that Page of Pentacles down there saying go for it with innocence and purity. So it's kind of cool how that balances out. And then at the end, you have like this passionate Chariot figure of pushing forward, and they're doing that with clarified with the Nine of Pentacles, who is somebody who knows exactly who they are and what they want, and they get the good things in their life because they allow themselves to be who they are, and they make sure that that's taken care of. They make sure that they're taken care of, not to slight others, but so that they can give, right? You can't give if you're not allowing to receive. So ultimately, I feel like this is saying, find that clarity, because you need balance to find it. But ultimately, don't slack yourself on the passion. And this is your path. I feel like this is your path, and find your inner self and go with that. And I feel like if you're like me, take a minute and do some meditation. Like, even if it's 5 minutes, I'm going to put something in the community page about a couple months ago. I tried to do a second thing, and I was going to do it on meditations, and it just didn't work out the way that I was doing it, because at the time I really wasn't able to give it the space that I needed. I'm working on some other things, so I might be doing some meditations with that. But there was something by I can't remember his name now, which is really sad, but he is a psychiatrist that used to be a Buddhist monk, and he talks about how when you do the Om, and it's AUM meditation, how it's really about feeling the vibrations and allowing yourself to focus on that. And he said people with ADHD, which I am somebody who has ADHD, and I don't try to let it define who I am, but I mean, when push comes to shove, I have to realize that this is something that I have to work with. It does give me some things that I'm very glad that I'm able to do because I have that. But at the same time, there are things that I kind of have to make sure I focus on, and focus being the key word here. So sometimes meditation can be hard for people with ADHD, and I'll put that video up because it's a really good one. Because if you're in this mindset, it's hard to, when you're passionate and your mind's going a mile a minute, it's hard to kind of slow down and take that time to kind of blend the two and balance it out. Anyway, I hope this helped somebody today, and I will talk to you later.